For decades, we've been staring up at that red dot in the sky, asking one of the biggest questions imaginable. Are we alone? Well, today, we're diving into a clue from Mars that could change everything we thought we knew. Just imagine this. On the empty, dusty surface of Mars, NASA's Perseverance rover spotted something. Something that sent a jolt of electricity through the entire scientific world. Something that might just be the closest clue to life we have ever found. So, is that it? Is this the moment? Proof of alien life? Well, hold on. The answer is complicated. And this entire incredible mystery, it all kicks off with some really weird-looking spots on a Martian rock. To really get what's going on here, we have to go to the surface of Mars and see for ourselves exactly what the rover's cameras picked up. And there they are. At first glance, maybe they don't look like much, just a bunch of dark, spotty marks on an otherwise normal rock. Scientists, though, they gave them a nickname, leopard spots. And they are unusual, they are super intriguing, and they are potentially revolutionary. I know exactly what you're thinking. Come on, it's just some spots. Mars is literally covered in rocks. And you're not wrong, but these particular spots, well, they fall into a very, very special category. They're what scientists call a potential biosignature. Okay, so what's a biosignature? It's basically life's little calling card, a sign left behind. It could be a specific chemical, a weird mineral shape, or a pattern in a rock that's just really hard to explain without biology being involved. Think of it like a fossil. But instead of a dinosaur bone, it's a chemical trace left by tiny microbes. And these leopard spots? Yeah, they definitely fit the description. And this brings us right to the heart of the matter, the huge question that the science team is wrestling with right now. Is it life, or is it just rocks? This really breaks it down perfectly. You've got two competing theories. On one side, you have the biological explanation. Here on our planet, we see tiny microbes change the chemistry of rocks they live on, leaving behind patterns that look, well, a lot like those spots. But then, on the other side, there's the geological theory. It's totally possible that plain old chemistry, no life involved, just hot, mineral-rich water reacting with rock for millions of years, could create the exact same pattern. It's a classic scientific whodunit. And this is exactly why you'll hear NASA being so careful with their words. You'll never hear them say life confirmed. Instead, it's all possible, potential, a candidate biosignature. Why? Because a claim as massive as finding alien life needs undeniable, slam-dunk proof. And we're not there yet. Not even close. But here's the thing. Even if these spots turn out to be just geology, it's still a huge win. Figuring out how they formed tells us so much about what Mars used to be like, and just how habitable it might have been. But to really understand the clue, you first have to understand the crime scene. Because where this discovery was made is absolutely critical to the whole story. See, Perseverance didn't just land in some random spot. NASA sent it to Jezero Crater, a place scientists are almost certain was once a giant lake, fed by a river that created a massive delta. And where there was water, well, there could have been life. This timeline tells the story perfectly. Picture it. 4 billion years ago, a river is dumping mud and sand into this big lake, layer by layer. Then, around 3.5 billion years ago, Mars's climate goes through a massive change, and all that water disappears. But anything that might have been living there could have gotten trapped in those layers of sediment, preserved like a time capsule, just waiting for us to come and find it. So how in the world are we reading this ancient story? That's where our detective comes in. The Perseverance rover and its incredible set of scientific tools. Seriously, you should think of this thing as a forensic lab on wheels. Its Mastcam Z is like the crime scene photographer, taking those amazing high-def images that first spotted the patterns. Then you've got Supercam, which can literally zap rocks with a laser to see what they're made of. And the real microscopic detectives, Sherlock and Pixel, they get right up close to hunt for the building blocks of life, organic molecules. It's an incredible setup. Okay, so this is the big question, right? If this rover is so ridiculously advanced, why all the uncertainty? Why can't we just get a straight yes or no? Well, the answer comes down to the simple fact that doing this kind of science from millions of miles away is incredibly hard. As amazing as Perseverance is, the final verdict in this case, the definitive answer, it's not going to come from Mars. It has to come from right here on Earth. A rover, no matter how sophisticated, is limited. To be 100% sure that something is a sign of life, to rule out every other possible geological explanation, you need massive, powerful, room-sized lab equipment, the kind of stuff you just can't pack onto a rover and send to another planet. And that brings us to the plan. It's one of the most ambitious things humanity has ever tried to do, the Mars Sample Return mission. Right now, Perseverance is drilling rock samples, including from rocks with these spots, and sealing them up in little tubes. The plan is for a whole new set of missions to go to Mars, pick up those tubes, launch them into orbit, and then fly them all the way back home. It is a mind-bogglingly complex plan. It's a multi-decade effort just to bring a few handfuls of Martian rock back to our labs. And what that means is the final answer to the mystery of the leopard spots, well, it could still be many years away. This story is far from over. And that leaves us right here, pondering this incredible thought. Are those spots the fossilized traces of ancient Martian life? Or just a cool trick of chemistry and geology? We just don't know yet. But what we do have is the clue. We have the samples, and we have a plan to bring them home. And if those samples actually make it back to Earth, history as we know it could be rewritten forever.